Poljak's treasure hunt. The summer sun warmed the farm as Jae-min sat on the porch, completely lost in his favorite comic book. He was so focused on the adventures on the page that he didn't notice the pair of shiny eyes watching him from the grass. Poljak, his chubby puppy, wagged his tail slowly, plotting a little adventure of his own. Jae-min felt his throat get dry and stood up to head inside for a glass of cold water. He left the comic book resting on his chair, thinking it would be safe for just a moment. As soon as the screen door clicked shut, Poljak lunged. With a joyful wiggle, the puppy snatched the book in his mouth and bolted toward the backyard. When Jae-min returned, his chair was empty. Poljak, he called out, looking around in confusion. He spotted a white feather fluttering near the corner of the house. There stood Keiko, the smartest chicken on the farm. Keiko tilted her head and gave a knowing cluck, pointing her beak toward the old farm warehouse. Jae-min hurried to the warehouse and pushed the heavy wooden door open with a loud creak. Inside, the air was dusty and filled with the scent of old wood. He peered through the rows of rusty shovels, tangled garden hoses, and stacked flower pots, but the mischievous puppy was nowhere to be seen. Next, Jae-min checked the backyard. He climbed over giant haystacks and crawled under the low branches of the apple trees, calling Poljak's name. He found a stray chew toy and an old tennis ball, but his precious comic book remained missing. The sun was starting to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the farm. Feeling tired and a bit sad, Jae-min sat down under a large oak tree and let out a long sigh. Suddenly, Keiko appeared again, fluttering her wings to get his attention. She hopped onto a fence post and let out a loud "Bawk" before nodding her head toward the path leading down to the sparkling stream. Jae-min followed the path until he heard the gentle bubbling of water. There, on a soft patch of moss by the stream, he found his runaway puppy. Poljak was fast asleep in the warm glow of the sun. He wasn't chewing the comic book. Instead, he was curled around it like it was the most valuable treasure in the world. Jae-min let out a quiet breath of relief. He knelt down beside the sleeping puppy, moving as slowly as a snail. He reached out with a steady hand, carefully sliding the comic book out from under Poljak's chin. He didn't want to end the puppy's nap, but he was very glad to have his book back in one piece. Just as the book was free, Poljak's nose twitched. He opened one eye, saw Jae-min, and let out a happy yip. Before Jae-min could say a word, the puppy jumped up and gave his hand a big sloppy lick. Jae-min couldn't help it. He burst out laughing and gathered the chubby puppy into a warm hug. As the sky turned a beautiful shade of purple and gold, Jae-min sat by the stream with his friends. He finished the last chapter of his book out loud, so Poljak and Keiko could hear the ending too. It had been a long chase, but Jae-min decided that a treasure hunt was much more fun when you did it together.